Chelsea v Celtic 2006 friendly. This report looks back at the friendly between Chelsea and Celtic, which took place back in August 2006. Some clever soul decided that it would be a good idea to have a match between the winners of the English and Scottish Premier Leagues. What they obviously didn't realise is that this meant two sets of supporters meeting up who hate each other with a passion. Chelsea are known to hate anything Celtic because of Celtic's links with the IRA. Celtic fans use the Irish tricolour as their own, which shows they support Ireland and not Britain. Chelsea fans are ardent loyalists supporting the British Crown, country and monarchy, and ardent haters of anything Republican. The scene was now set for one of the most underrated explosions of violence ever seen outside a football ground. Sorry, there are no videos of the violence. We let Jace tell his story. To this day, I still can't believe it. Who came up with this idea? When the news came out, my phone never stopped ringing. There were both Scottish and English firms who wanted a piece of the Fenian pie. My Rangers associates had already booked their coach down to the bridge. This was going to be someday. A bright and early start, and my phone was buzzing with reports of large groups of Celtic around Euston Station and in local pubs. We had a decent firm of about 500 dotted about the place, and the plan was to ambush Celtic wherever we could before the police arrived and stopped the fun. One of their haunts was Brogan's, which is just around the corner from Fulham Broadway tube station. It was packed full of them. From the depths of Fulham Broadway we heard them coming, with their OR Up the RAH song. They exited the station and we went straight into them and smashed them to pieces. They scattered all over the place. We turned back to Brogan's to have a go at them, but the police had seen the move and ushered them all inside for their own safety. Eventually they came out, under a huge police escort. We gave them everything we had, bottles, bricks, you name it, we chucked it at them. When we run out of missiles, we attacked through the escort and battered them. The route to the ground should have taken them 5 minutes, but such was the ferocity of attacks it took them 45 minutes to get to the ground. So they were late getting into the ground. After the match it was more of the same. The police were overwhelmed and only just managed to escort them to the trains. God knows what would have happened if the escort had disappeared and left the Fenians to the wrath of that Chelsea mob. It was just like the good old days and was worse than the Chelsea-Cardiff war a few years later. Much worse. Yes, we had help from other firms, especially Glasgow Rangers, who, by the way, hate Celtic more than we do, if that's possible. But that mob was the worst I have ever seen at the bridge, for at least 35 years. Just to add, Celtic took 10,000 to Fulham for a friendly a couple of years earlier, but only 3,000 against us. They are supposed to be one of the best supported teams in the whole world, yet could only muster up 3,000 for a hate match. I wonder why. Celtic fan Len told us, "I am a jock living in England and I see on a daily basis how English so-called football fans are narrow-minded and racist, and it is getting worse. I went to the Fulham game and no bother at all. This was an ill-advised game against a narrow-minded bunch of insecure tossers. Women and children were targeted, and it really was very frightening. I'm not sure how it helps the Chelsea anti-IRA cause at all with this blame the Irish crap. It's the various different racist right-wing English fans who cause all the trouble, and yet it's our fault. I guess the message is that despite the English people's record of pure, unadulterated evil when it comes to anything Irish, it is really Irish people's fault." Oh, and by the way, maybe you should take into consideration 850-odd years of murder and genocide directed against the Irish from London. Not to mention a London government that since 1922 has financially backed up a bigoted and racist regime in the 6 counties. Or no, that must be those thick, evil Irish people's fault as well. Yes, that's it. We forced those nice English people to be so bigoted and racist. I also blame the Celtic board for sanctioning this match. Didn't they realise that Chelsea are completely against the IRA and Celtic as a mission of theirs? Didn't they think it odd that the Met Police had 500 officers on duty, some on horseback for a friendly? Terrible day with evil, manic thugs trying to kill us for something that happened 40-50 years ago. Madness. Always hated Chelsea, and this has deepened that hatred. We thank Jason Len for their recollections. It appears that Celtic and the police may have underestimated the hatred that Chelsea and their mates Rangers have for the Celtic club and its pro-IRA supporters, but it doesn't help singing IRA songs and goading the opposition. I mean, you're no longer allowed to sing racist songs at football, so why religious one or political ones? Anyway, thanks for watching, and please subscribe for notifications of future videos. It really helps our channel grow.